about 4 hours since I've been with you. You did 2 hours of stretch and folds, 4 different sets within that 2 hours and some pausing in between. And then the dough has sat on your counter, covered, loosely covered for 2 more hours, okay? So then after that 4-hour time frame, on a clean, lightly dusted flour surface, listen, if you live in a drier climate, you're probably gonna want less flour than this, okay? My dough is still gonna be really sticky, probably almost too sticky to work with. I may even reach for some more to put on my hands, okay? But we're gonna just scrape it all out of the bowl onto this floured surface. And again, you'll learn the tricks and stuff along the way. You'll learn what is too sticky, what isn't, and how to fix those things. But for now, just follow along the best that you can. Okay, remember what I said earlier? So I put it on here and I just kind of let it get a little bit of flour on it so that it's not so extremely sticky that I can't do anything with it. Okay, and then I kind of just move it around a little bit, nothing fancy. But remember what I told you, that this makes a double batch. So we're gonna look for a halfway point and cut it in half. This tool that I'm using is called a bench scraper. You don't have to have one. I did fine in the beginning without it, but you will need something that's capable of cutting this in half. It's a pretty big piece of dough, okay? And for now, we're just gonna put the other half off to the side and we're gonna work with this half, okay? It should be kind of, you know, wiggly, kind of loose, not super tight, okay? And there's many ways to do this step. There's so many videos out there. There's such confusing process watching people, and you're like, how do they do that? Listen, I have narrowed this down to one of the easiest concepts that I could teach you, but it's not just something I'm trying to teach you. This is legit, literally the way that I do this, okay? So I take it, I want to kind of form a circle ball, okay? All I'm gonna do is take this side, fold it in, take this side, fold it up and in, take this side, fold it up and in. This is similar to what they call maybe a diaper fold. Just keep flipping it and pulling up, bringing it to the center, kind of like we did with the stretch and folds. Bring it up, fold it to the center. I keep going around a couple times, and it'll eventually turn into this round shape, okay? Keep going, up and into the center, up and into the center, okay? And then when I get to about here, I flip it over. Now, I'm gonna show you 2 ways to do this, because if you don't have a bench scraper, you won't be able to do this part of it. But with a bench scraper, this is what this would look like. You want to scoop under with this hand, and then this hand is kind of cupping and turning at the same time. You're just shaping into a tight circle. We want a circle, but we also want to push and tuck everything under, okay? But let's say I don't have one of those. Can I still do this process? Yes, this is how I would do it. Flip that thing over just like we just did. You're just using your hands now. So when you grab it, you're gonna kind of push down just a little bit and tuck under. Grab the other 2 sides and tuck under. Grab the sides, tuck under. We just want something tight that we can work with, okay? So just keep repeating that just a few times, okay? And then I'm just simply going to set it to the side, okay? We have to do our shaping twice on each loaf, okay? So once again, I have my little loaf here, or my little dough thing. It's not even looking like a circle at this point. I'm lifting up, pulling to the center, lifting up, pulling to the center, all the way around several times until I'm happy that it's kind of in a circular, usable shape. Okay, lifting up, pulling to the center. You'll get quick at it, obviously. I have a year's worth of sourdough under my belt at this point. So pulling up, going to the center. I'm gonna flip it. Okay guys, I'll pretend I don't have a bench scraper. I'm literally just scooping, pulling under, scooping, pulling under, scooping, pulling under. I want it tight. Making it tight is going to make a beautiful loaf in the end, okay? And we get 2 chances at this. So now I'm just gonna set it to the side, and these are gonna sit here for 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do something very similar to it on a second round, okay? All right, guys, we're ready for the next step. They've been sitting for 20 minutes. I'm just gonna come over to one of them, flip it over, and we're gonna do the same process. But this time you're gonna notice that it holds its shape better. It's a little bit tighter to stretch, and I don't need to work with it as much, okay? So I'm just gonna pull, fold to the center. I'm not even pulling up as high as I was prior. So just pulling, folding to the center, rotating it, pulling, folding to the center, and quickly we're discovering, oh, it's already turning into that circular shape that I'm looking for. Then I'm gonna flip it over, and again, if I don't have a bench scraper, I'm just doing this number. Kind of a scoop and folding it under, scoop, folding it under, scoop, folding it under, scoop, folding it under. Okay, now, after that's done, and I'm happy with its tightness and its size, its shape, that kind of thing, these are called Banneton bowls. They come in an ovular shape and they come in a circular shape. You don't need these, okay? This is for if you really just want to stay with sourdough and you want the real stuff that people use and that kind of thing, okay? When I first started, I used regular Tupperware bowls, okay? But what is necessary is that you lightly flour the inside of it, okay? Then, after you have your dough like this, we're going to transfer it upside down, okay? So, you want the pretty part on the bottom, put some flour on your hand and just pat its little baby butt, okay? All right, let's do the same thing with this one here. Okay, we're just folding to the center, lifting up, folding to the center, lifting up, folding to the center. This is similar to what they call a diaper fold. Lifting up, folding to the center. This is just something I found works for me. There's so many things to do out there. Some of them are very complicated. This is something that I do. I'm telling you, I do this every single week and it works for me without fail. Okay, now you might have noticed that one of my Banneton bowls is ovular and the other one is circular, okay? There's a bunch of videos on how to fold a loaf when you use an ovular Banneton bowl. I don't do that. I literally just shape it with my hand. I'm like, okay, so it's going into an ovular dish. I need it to look a little more like a hot dog, you know? And again, I'm gonna flip it upside down. I'll put it into my bowl, and then I'm going to put some flour on my hand. Some days you'll need more flour than others. You'll feel it, it's still sticky. Okay, and then what am I gonna do? I'm going to take these bowls, I'm gonna cover them, and I'm gonna place them into the refrigerator, okay? So here's where it's different. If you chose option 1, okay, you're putting these in the refrigerator hopefully around noon, maybe 1 o'clock. That's the way that that's the way it works out, okay? You're gonna put them into the refrigerator covered for at least 4 hours, and then you get to bake, okay? Meaning your sourdough is gonna be ready, hot, fresh off the press around dinner time, okay? Depending on what time you have dinner. But if you chose the option where you're going to be baking in the morning, you're doing this process at nighttime, okay? And so after this is done, you're gonna cover them, put them in the refrigerator. They will rest there overnight. First thing in the morning, you're ready to bake. Put them in the oven and bake them, okay? So go ahead, find a plate, a Tupperware lid. You could even cover them with a dish towel, place them into the fridge, plastic, I don't care, whatever it is, just cover them, place them into the fridge, let them rest for at the very least 4 hours, okay?